And you can close your eyes for this, or if you want to keep them open, lower your gaze a little bit. And let's just start by taking a few breaths into the lower parts of your abdomen. Doesn't need to be a lot of air, but just letting your breath settle more deeply into the body. And get a sense of your feet on the ground, your legs and back against the chair if you're sitting. Otherwise, just your feet on the ground. Feel the support, that ground. And take a moment to check in with yourself. What is it like to be you in this moment? What's present? What's alive for you? Are there any thoughts that are running through your mind? Whatever you find, just notice it. No need to change it or make it better or not have any thoughts. Just notice what arises in awareness. If your mind is anything like mine, it will be all over the place. Many thoughts that go here and there. That's just what the dynamic display is of our minds. Most of the time, anyway. Notice that there is also the you that's aware of all these thoughts. Is this you that's aware changing with the changing thoughts? Have a look. So you'll see that the awareness that is aware is constant. You can't find a moment where you're not aware. And the content of awareness keeps changing. Let's have another look at your experience of this moment and see if you can find any emotional quality. Do you feel easeful or anxious, happy, sad? Much like with your thoughts, just notice what your mood or emotional quality is right now. Is there any part in your body where you feel that? What is the bodily or energetic experience of that emotion? And now bring to mind, if you remember, how you felt maybe an hour ago or a couple hours ago, yesterday evening. Similar to our thoughts, our emotions, the experiences in our body keep changing. And now look at the awareness by which you know these emotions and the sensations in your body. Is that changing? So much like with your thoughts, emotions and experiences are constantly changing, and the awareness with which we are aware, by which we are aware, is a constant presence that is not changing. It's always the same awareness, like a mirror in which so many different images arise and vanish, but leaving the mirror itself and its clarity and lucidity unaffected. And so the practice here is to rest as that awareness, as that open intelligence that is aware and present in every experience. Relax, rest, mind and body. Recognize your own awareness, the very essence of your being, for just a moment. No need to try and stay in that recognition, just acknowledging it. And then naturally your attention will be busy again with the content, thoughts, emotions, sensations. And whenever you remember, take another glimpse, another look at open intelligence, awareness, the essence of your being. And you can practice that throughout your day, whether you're by yourself or with other people. Short, brief moments, glimpses, touch points of looking back at yourself, at your true self, the unchanging essence of being. Short moments many times throughout the day. And as we come to a close of this brief session here, notice again any sensations in your body, your feet on the floor, the ground. And as you open your eyes, notice it's the same aware presence that's looking through your eyes. The same awareness that was watching your thoughts is now seeing the pixels on the screen, hearing my voice. All right. Okay. And Kati, you prepared some slides for us today. So
Great.
Can I let you get started with those?
Perfect. So, yes, we have a couple of new ones. We also will go into the introduction to open intelligence, awareness. We call it here awareness, open intelligence. So, what is open intelligence? Stop thinking just for a moment. What remains? It's an alertness, clarity, openness, and the power to know. Spacious, open intelligence. And of course, then all the thoughts come back. And the same open intelligence is equally present with thoughts and without thoughts. It's naturally present, doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't come from anywhere. It's simply what's looking. It's naturally present right here. And that is what the teaching is about, is recognizing open intelligence that has gone unnoticed by focusing on our thoughts and emotions and sensations, on the descriptions. So when the mind is used to emphasize thoughts and emotion, the scope of our view is restricted. So we then just see a small part of the whole of everything. We just see the descriptions. Our mind is used to look at all the descriptions of our emotions, thoughts, and sensations. And when we are introduced to open intelligence, there's something about us that is always stable, open, and clear. And that becomes more and more obvious by the power of taking short moments of open intelligence. And that's the practice here, the short moments. And it's short because otherwise we might want to get into a state of open intelligence or try to achieve it in trying to have certain feelings or thoughts. But in these short moments, it's a simple recognition to allow all of our thoughts and emotions to be as it is and use our mind to recognize open intelligence rather than going down the whole road of looking at the descriptions and basically elaborating on them. But so when we rely on open intelligence rather than on emphasizing our thoughts and emotions, we have a vaster view and experience the soothing energy and clarity of open intelligence. So it's like sitting there on the mountaintop. I like that picture because it really shows that moment of letting all data be as it is. We call data all the thoughts and emotions for those who are here the first time. So in that way, it's a simple way of just categorizing everything we can feel, see, experience, all the thoughts and emotions, sensations. So that sitting on the mountaintop, we recognize the vast view. Maybe Jochen, you want to take the next one here?
Yeah. Open intelligence is something about us that is always stable and clear. Just like a crystal ball is unaffected by whatever images appear, the nature of mind, open intelligence, remains lucid and clear, regardless of the data, thoughts, emotions, sensations that arise within it. I have another crystal ball here. So you can see the changing reflections, and the crystal ball is always the same. And so we did this in the arrival practice as well, where you could see your thoughts keep changing, but the awareness by which we know our thoughts is unchanging. That's that sense we have of, that I I am always here. You know, like the you that is looking in the mirror is always the same, even though the image changes a bit, right? Like we're getting a little more wrinkly, and our hair changes, and other features change in our bodies, but the you that's looking through our eyes is always the same. Just as a rainbow appears within space, all cognitive, sensory, and emotional events, thoughts, emotions, sensations, and other experiences like stress, overwhelm, anxiety, all thinking, appear within alert, open intelligence. Just like a rainbow appears within space, the different colors and very vivid, and it looks like there is something there, but it appears and it resolves in space. And so it's much like that with our thoughts, emotions, and all these other experiences there. Data is the dynamic energy of open intelligence. Just as space and a rainbow are inseparable, data is inseparable from open intelligence. So it really isn't about, sometimes when we hear about open intelligence, it certainly was like that for me in the beginning. We're kind of hoping it will be the final tool to get rid of all the bad data, all the negative thoughts, or challenging emotions and experiences we don't like, and we can just be in open intelligence instead. But what really happens is if we relax as that space-like quality of awareness of open intelligence, we can let the dynamic energy just move through. And much like space doesn't really, feel affected by the rainbow or the clouds or the wind or whatever appears within space, so too we can let that energy move through us. We feel everything deeply. It's very present and vivid, probably even more than if we constantly try to do something about it. But by letting it move through, there is no suffering attached to it. There can be an experience of pain or of heartache or whatever it is we experience, but there is this open, spacious quality to it. Like the rainbow in the sky, data are vividly present and disappear, leaving no trace. So you can see that also if you take a look at your mind. We could do that for a moment. Let's pause here for a moment and just see if you can find the thought that you had 30 seconds ago. You see, it's gone. You might remember it and then it's present right now. That doesn't mean it was always there. It's just reappearing. But whatever appears in your mind, it disappears, leaving no trace. Do you want to continue here?
If we get lost in descriptions, we find ourselves on a roller coaster ride of thoughts, emotions, and other experiences. So we all know that the ups and downs of life, of a day, and have good emotions, not so good emotions, challenging ones. Our thoughts are good, and we have right away a bad thought, or what we label bad or negative. And so looking at all the descriptions, there's always an up and down. We can never keep it in place like a good thought. I tried it a lot to keep a good thought or a good feeling in place with all kinds of means. And so it was a relief to be introduced to open intelligence, to know something about myself that is always naturally present, stable, and clear, regardless of what my thoughts are, regardless of what the energy of the body, the feelings, and the sensations are. So recognizing this as the dynamic energy of this open intelligence was a very powerful moment. And then you repeat that moment with short moments, like again and again. So we rely on open intelligence for a short moment, repeat it again and again whenever we remember to do so, instead of going into the data and trying to rearrange them. So that's the choice we can take. And that's the practice for each moment, is like this short moments of open intelligence, repeated many times. And we say whenever you remember, because that makes it like it in a natural way. We just remember a short moment, and in this moment, there's a short moment of open intelligence, and you'll see that open intelligence becomes naturally more and more obvious. It's helpful to come to calls like this, or to read texts that evoke open intelligence, or hear others share. So that's a support that is offered here to make open intelligence more obvious in daily life. But we don't have to change anything in our day-to-day life, as we can take a short moment wherever we are, if we are with people, if we are alone, if we are working or walking, or anything we are doing. So what we recognize is that data with an open intelligence can be likened to a breeze blowing through the air. The breeze and the air are inseparable. Both are air. So I love that metaphor, because when the breeze blows, it is the dynamic energy of air. So when data stirs the dynamic energy of open intelligence, the inseparability is more and more obvious, because we otherwise just want to get rid of certain thoughts and emotions. We feel angry and we don't want to feel that, or we feel sad and we need to get rid of it, or we need to change it, or we need to look at it in all kinds of ways. So it's a very powerful way of using our mind, letting these data, the dynamic energy of open intelligence, be as it is. Another metaphor is like the color blue is inseparable from the sky. Data inseparable from open intelligence. Nothing to think about, just simply to take a short moment of open intelligence. And then there's nothing else that needs to be done about thoughts and emotions. All data self-release, and that's the power of open intelligence. That data and thoughts and emotions self-release without any effort, without anything needing to be done. So that's the power of a short moment of open intelligence. I tried all kinds of things, like for meditation. Obviously, my background is psychology and therapy, and all of that had a certain result, but with bringing the power of open intelligence into everything I was doing. Yeah, I could see that that was the ultimate. Yeah, the search was over basically, and the ultimate meditation or the ultimate way of recognizing the freedom from ups and downs. Mm. I have also the slides here because we spoke about that last time, just looking at the different ways of how we are using our mind. We could go through that maybe just a moment. Yeah, would you like to continue?
Sure. Yeah, so when we're not, oh, Siri thought I speak with her. Sorry. Um, when we when we only recognize or notice the data, our thoughts, emotions, and sensations, and looking for happiness, for peace, for stability in there, the result is that we constantly try and manage our thoughts, our emotions, our experiences, our relationships, and we hope that this would provide relief. Now, this woman seems to be having a lot of fun with her two oranges, but for most of us, it's probably not always as joyous and many more than two oranges. And so we're just, Katya, do you want to go through the four ways? Is that the next slide, or did you want to? Yeah, okay. So in looking at the way we have dealt with data, we can see the first three thoughts and emotions. We either indulge them, avoid them, or replace them. The fourth option is relying on open intelligence and leaving them as they are. And so we have a quick. Do we want to show those slides? Okay, good. So usually in this, this is a static image, but in the bubble there, the thinking bubble of the person, there is a fire there that's burning. So thoughts and emotions are indulged. We make stories around the thoughts and emotions. We repeatedly think about it and describe all we feel and think. So the holidays are coming up here in the US, Thanksgiving on Thursday. And it's a time when family is coming together and and I remember family gatherings being already thinking about them would bring up both like really nice memories. I've always loved the holidays in Germany, not Thanksgiving, but Christmas usually. Um, but then also so many of the same, dynamics would keep coming up there. And then the thoughts would be like, why is it always like this? Or can't this person just like finally do this or that differently or no longer do this or that? And so that's what this means is we're going into the story, we're describing everything. We look for the causes and the reasons, and we're completely absorbed in the emotions and in the thoughts. And then the next one is we're trying to avoid the thoughts and emotions, usually by also then avoiding the people, places, and things that would elicit, that trigger these specific thoughts and emotions. We try not to think about something. One thing that I often share here is when I think back is if my mom called me and I saw her number on the display, I just didn't want to answer the phone and I let it go to the answering machine. So that's a simple thing where I knew we probably might get into stuff that I don't want to get into, and so I just avoid it. I don't answer the call. It was an easy way of um, escaping. But of course, it doesn't resolve the underlying issue. I need to keep avoiding that call to then avoid the emotions that come with it. And the third is thoughts and emotions are replaced with a seemingly better thought or emotion, and similarly, positive thoughts are actively cultivated. So that means if I get angry, at somebody, instead of then indulging the anger, I I actively, try and recount all the good things the person did for me to kind of not be angry, or to not be as angry, or control myself. And it's basically replacing one image in the crystal ball with another image that feels better, which can be a good thing sometimes in the heat of the moment, so that we're not blowing our top, that we don't get into an argument or something. But again, it requires, much like the avoidance, it requires a constant vigilance to see that our thoughts and emotions are appropriate and nice and kind and compassionate and all that. And rather than really being at ease and relaxed and being able to be in full relationship with the other person. We're always busy then with our own thoughts and emotions. And the fourth option is to let them be as they are. Just as thoughts and emotions arise, they flow on by. So that is that capacity of resting as open intelligence, even if just for a moment, and recognizing we don't need to do anything about the thoughts and emotions. Whatever we thought, whatever we were hoping to achieve ultimately with indulging, avoiding, and replacing, we can we can have the essence of what we really, really want in every moment by recognizing the true nature of mind and resting for a moment as that spacious expanse in which thoughts and emotions arise and vanish naturally. Good. That maybe was a lot for those who are here for the first time. We'd love to hear how it was. If you have any questions, did it make sense? What was your experience, either of what you just heard or of the arrival practice? Gwen, yes, please.
Hi. Do you mean, since my first time, are you meaning open intelligence to be awareness?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I never heard it used, open intelligence, but my therapist in our meditation says awareness. And
Hmm.
that's what I think why he recommended this. I think he just found you also because I have a very hard time resting in awareness. So what you just did was wonderful because I do understand uh, intellectually, but I don't know how to put it into practice.
Hmm.
That's my problem.
You're not alone with that.
Okay. But
I,
yeah, this is, I think why he
mhm.
recommended this. You are saying the same things that he's telling me, but I just never heard the term open intelligence. I was just assuming it was awareness.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's right.
But I
Yeah.
don't know how to replace the thoughts all the time.
Yes, and that's exactly what we don't need to do anymore. In that
Okay.
moment of recognizing awareness itself,
Mhm.
did did you recognize that in any of them? Like, did you get a sense of one, like even of a short moment of recognizing awareness itself?
Sometimes, not much.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what I need to work on.
Yeah. And just coming here, like I think if you can make this time and
Mhm.
just being here, that's what I did, because whenever I tried, I just efforted so much because I wanted
Mhm.
it so much, and that's sometimes counterproductive. So just
Yep.
coming, that's what our teacher always said, is just show up. You don't need to
Right.
do anything.
Thank you.
Just
Just
like,
being. You mean just being?
yeah,
Just being. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Yep.
Just be and relax and let it wash over you, and it will become increasingly clear.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So nice you're here.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any shares today, experiences, questions? Some of you are going through the empowerment, which is one of our foundational trainings. So
Mm.
if you have any shares about how that is going for you, or if you have any questions, be happy to talk about that too. And you can either press one in the chat or just turn on your video and share.
Well, I have another question then. Sorry.
No,
Do,
great. Go for
is
it.
this every week on just Tuesdays at 12? But I should really go into the website and register and find out more. Is that what you're saying? My next step should be.
Yeah, both of those are
Mm.
great. Like we do these every Tuesday, same time, 12 Eastern. And and then on the website, if you sign up there, we also get a notification if somebody signs up, and then that means we'll know that it's you. If is your name in your email address? Would we
Yes.
recognize it? Okay, great. And then
Okay.
we can also send you a follow-up email with a couple more links, maybe to the YouTube channel
Yes.
where we have more guided
Oh, yeah.
meditations.
That'd be good because I can't always make it every Tuesday. But are you in the Buddhist tradition or Zen or not neither? Are you psychologist?
For all of that?
Yeah, are you all of that?
Katya and I are both psychologists, and
Okay.
Katya worked more as a therapist, or still does, and I'm more in the coaching and consulting
Oh, okay.
area. Um, and our tradition really is mm, non-denominational
No,
in a
okay.
way, but as you can maybe see in the background there, like I really love the Buddhist or the Dzogchen
Mhm.
lineage, so I'm
Okay.
I resonate with that, and
Mhm.
you wouldn't need to. And we have people come of all faith backgrounds, and also people who have no faith background.
Mhm.
Um, in my experience, the practice is really compatible and even strengthens the relationship or understanding with the respective practice. So,
Thank you. I
mhm.
think this was meant to be. He always says that, I don't know if you believe this, but he tells us a lot that things are predetermined and things are meant to be, and we have to accept the way things are, the good and the bad. But I don't know if I'm saying exactly right, but also that this was meant to be that I was here. And he
Mm.
thinks whoever goes to his meditation class, that it was meant to be, that it was just meant to be that we were, whoever's here, and it was meant to be. Is that what you
Mm.
believe? Do you believe that things are meant to
Um,
be?
I think things are as they are.
Okay.
Um, but I do maybe underneath that, I do really feel there is a beneficial intent in everything. Whether you call that a divine principle or like a universal intelligence that guides
Mhm.
everything, or like
Right.
I philosophically or cosmologically, I don't really know how these things work.
Well,
But
me
my
either.
my faith and trust in that it's all
Okay.
okay and everything is just
Mhm.
working fine has
Right.
definitely increased with this practice.
Yeah, that's what I need to. You're right. Thank you.
Mm, you're welcome.